Coming up on the next episode. Good evening, YouTube. Here on a Friday evening. It is 7:15 now in the PM. I have the POG radio in front of me on the bench. I've been kind of busy putting in wires and making up for all the problems that I found with the missing wires, the unconnected wires, whatever you want to call it. Going to go over this one thing at a time. First, we're going to start down to power supply. This is the filter cap. It says the positives are red. Maybe at one time those were red. I don't know. That one kind of has a red tint to it, you can see. But anyway, these are the only ones that are out there, and the other one's black on the other end, and it's tied to ground. I've already checked that. And so these are needed to be connected, and they are being connected, or have been connected, I should say. This one kind of commons with the, and if you look at the schematic, you'll see the wire coming from the output transformer that provides the main power to the 50L6 plate. Comes through there and connects basically the same place that the one of the 30 microfarad caps for the filter connects, and that's where I've got right there. That is between the 1000 ohm resistor, the 100 ohm resistor, and the 1000 ohm resistor here. So there you go, there's both of those connected as they should be. The other one is the 50, also a 30, and it connects on the other end of the, let me double check that. I could have swore that's what it was, but I may be wrong. Yeah, it's right. Okay. But it connects to the other end of the 1000 watt, opposite of this, in other words, to make the pi filter. And it is connected right there on the, basically at the tube socket. That was the best place to connect it that I could see. And so that's there. That's all connected. Now, if we go on around to our next little problem area, which is around the volume control here, I had one missing connection to ground from the low end of the volume control, and that's right here. And you can't see it behind that wire, but there is a connection between the two there now, and it goes right on down to ground, just where it's supposed to, right there. And the other one was the 0.01 microfarad cap that went from the center to the tube. And I can't remember, well, if I made this probably a little bit smaller, it would make it easier to see. There we go. Yeah, okay, so basically that goes from the center of the wiper of the volume control through the 0.01 cap to pin, it looks like 8 to me. I'm going to call it 8 of the, no, it was pin 2, I'm sorry, pin 2 of the 12SQ7. And that is connected right there. And you can see that. Now there is a wire that comes over here to pin 1 and connects to pin 3, but it goes underneath there and doesn't connect to that. I had to double check that 3 times to figure that out. But it doesn't connect, it doesn't have anything to do with that. So that's good. So that part of it's done. So the only thing, I had one left. I thought this one here was not connected, but I was wrong. That's the one from the plate of the 12SQ7 to the grid of the 50L6 for inputting the audio, and that is connected, and it has never been unconnected that I know of, but that it goes from where the correct spot on the 12SQ7 to the 50L6 over here, and that's good. So I thought that was wrong, but it wasn't, so we're glad about that. So all of my things that I found with this radio to begin with have been corrected. I think. And I'm pretty sure I've looked at it several times and went back and over it and stuff like that to make sure. But yeah, it has been connected. Now, moving on to the Iaf Transformers. As you can see on the schematic, I have those now outlined with the colors that they need to connect to and things like that. So the next order of business is going to be putting those in. And I'm not going to do that this evening because it's 7:20 and I like to do that with fresh eyes. I've got a link or a loose one here. I don't even know what it is. I'll have to look at it closer. It almost looks like electrolytic, but I don't know what electrolytic would be doing down there. But anyway, it goes to ground because it's got a loop on it. And I'm sure that probably goes where the Iaf transformer comes through there and connects to the chassis. Probably. That's my guess. That's the only place I could see with any kind of place to hook up something like that. So that's there. Rest of this stuff is right, and it's connected. So I don't have any more problems up here that I know of. These are the speaker wires. Now this is something I haven't really looked into, but I'm sure it connects somewhere underneath here. I just got to figure out where. So we'll get that all figured out and get that connected. Alright, back once more. I found the wires and for the speaker, and I was kind of way off base on this. The wires are underneath here, come all off of the transformer. They're just bare wires, and go to each of the speaker output terminals here. Now the extra wiring on here, now I remember after I got to looking at the back, there is a jack on the back, actually two jacks I think, that these wires here connect to, and I think it allows you to have an external speaker. Not really sure why, but but that's the way it is. But like I say, there is a wire going to both of these sides here. There's one right there. I can feel it with my thing. I could actually see it if I probably put it up there. Yeah, you can see it. Let's see if you can see it. Right there. So that is connected. That's not a problem. These wires here on the back will connect to the antenna loop that I have in the box over there, and they have to connect there, and those will be ready to go. I think once I do that and put the new Iaf Transformers in, which will go here, one of them anyway, and the other one goes here. So once those are in, and we can populate the tubes, and we can try this thing out. My plan is to obviously hook it up to the Variac and bring it up slowly. I think that's pretty much it. It doesn't have a UL approved knot in the cord, but I think we can test it without having to worry about that too much. Went over this oscillator pretty carefully while I was doing the video part, the other part of this video, checking all the connections, things like that. So pretty sure of that. There's nothing really that I haven't messed. Well, I can't say I haven't messed with, but I haven't messed up. There's another one of those. I don't know if you can see it on this camera or not, but you can see right there, 12SASK7, I think is what it says. And so, yeah, that was all written down. I think that might have been in pencil. Instead, I said scribed. It might just be pencil. I don't know. But it's lasted a long time if it is, so that's that. Again, that's going to do me for right now. I think I'm going to, like I say, take a break. Good Sunday morning to you all, YouTube. 11:35 now in the AM. Just had my LA oldies playing. Had to turn that down. You guys can hear that stuff on YouTube. You know how that works. I am going to try to find some music, though, that is fairly decent that can be played. It's called Rio. I don't know if you guys, you probably heard it. I played parts of it before. when I was working on the Kenwood little mini component system. And so that's, I think, I'm pretty sure that's, I haven't gotten any copyright hits on it, and I can't find it on YouTube, so we'll go from there. So anyway, that's part of the situation. Now here, what you have, what I have in front of me, and you have in front of the camera, and as soon as I get my pointy stick, we'll point it out. This is the POG. For those who don't know it by its proper name, it's the pictograph. I'm going to show you why it's called the pictograph. Right there. Pictograph. That is the name of it. I did a test on this, live test, last night. Bob and I got on and tried to power this up. And in fact, we were successful in some ways. We were not successful in other ways. I did get the radio to power up. It works somewhat. I have problems with it that has to be addressed, obviously. This is one of them right here. Although this was brand new, never been used, it was bad. We noticed a severe hum in the audio, and the fact that we couldn't get any B+ from the rectifier out of with this. Bob thinks it's shorted. I don't know about shorted, but it's obviously not good. So anyway, that's part of the reason. Now we were able to disconnect the 35Z5 from the circuit from B+ right here. Show you that real quick. This is the 100 ohm resistor that comes from pin. I've got to find my little schematic again. Let's see. Comes from pin number, looks like 8 from the 35Z5. If I looked at the tube, I could have told real easy as well. Well, yep, one end pin 8. That's exactly where it came from, right there. So that's where it came from. Gotta reconnect that back once I get the filter caps changed. I think I've got some 33 at 160, I believe. If I don't, I'll have to get those. Once that is replaced and all things are reconnected, I've got to take this volume pot out. The on-off switch is bad. I've got to see if I can either repair that or find a new one or something. I don't know exactly what value this is. It's up around 1 meg at least. So that is that. Like I say, I'm going to go ahead and try to leave as many wires on it as I can, or stuff on it, like this capacitor. Leave that there. I'll have to take that off, obviously. That's my feed for the audio going into the first amp tube. So that's that. And everything else seems to be working. Now, recapping what we did last night, we were not unable to get a radio station in, but it was at the time of night. Those of you in the know that AM stations, especially smaller ones, reduce their power of an evening, and so they don't come in as good. And I think that's what happens with our local station. And it didn't come in. I couldn't get it in at all. Now, the only thing I was getting was out of the converter, 12SA7, and in through the first transformer, first Iaf transformer, and out of that going into the next tube, which is 12SK7. That was where I was measuring the audio at, not audio, but the signal at, using the BDST, and it works. Like I said, I was hearing plenty of volume out of it, but there was just no signal coming out. So Bob suggested, now this was after we disconnected this 100 ohm resistor down here from the B plus of the rectifier and hooked in the DC PS to provide B plus for the system. And also I disconnected the bad filter cap out of that too, so that's what we did. And once we did that, we got fired up the 970 BK 970 radio analyst, used its oscillator signal generator to put a 1 megahertz signal into the into the loop using another loop. I had this thing hanging up, and we just basically hung another loop from the 970 on it, and was able to feed a signal into at 1 megahertz and have it come through the BDST at that point. So that was good. It shows that the front end of the radio, the mixer oscillator, converter, whatever you want to call it, the 12SA7, is actually working, and it is tuning. It shows that the oscillator is running correctly. So like I said, I had it set to just about 1 megahertz on the dial, so it was pretty darn close. Obviously I didn't have a frequency counter on the output, but again, it was close enough. So just to show, because I could tune it off of that and it would go off, and I could retune it, things like that. So anyway, that's that. That's how far we've gotten. So in other words, the radio is working, at least this part of it. We really haven't, and it has gotten through the first Iaf transformer. It hasn't got to the amplifier yet. That's be our next step after I get these filter caps replaced and everything fixed. Again, take the volume pot off, try to fix the switch, clean the volume pot really good because it's still not really clean. Get that done, and put the new, I'll show you up here. I say the new, but the IF can that goes in there. You'll notice that screw there is just holding this bypass cap for the output tube. I just wanted to ground it so it would be grounded. But anyway, that's where it's got to go. It's got to be rewired as well. I did the first one. I don't know if you can see the wires. That's not the original wires. The blue, green, the black, and the red. So those have been redone, and which made it good, I think. And that's the same thing has got to be done to this one as well. So they're not hard to do. You basically put your screwdriver in there and push that out, and this whole thing comes out, and then they just solder onto the tabs there. Really easy to do. The only problem I have is finding the wires to do it with. I've got wiring here somewhere, and I can't find that. I've got the caps for this somewhere, and I can't find those. So nothing new here at DERB. Same old story. Thinking about when I take this out, making a 3D printed holder for the two replacements on that, and that may be kind of neat. That'd be another little fun job to do. You can see there's where it's held down, right there. That I'm using my fingers when I've used my pointer. That screw right there with a nut on it holds that strip down. And like I said, I could make the 3D printed one come over there the same way, and use that to. I'm thinking about that. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. But if it works out that way, we'll work it that way. If not, we'll do it some other way. But important thing is we'll do something. So anyway, that's my charge for the day. I don't know how far I'll get. I will bring you back and update you on this when I have a suitable amount of information to update. So stay tuned. Alright, well, we are back once more. It is 3:22 now in the afternoon. I have not been in here all this time. I did the first part of this work on these caps, which I'm going to point out here. There's the one filter cap there. It's a 33 at 160. There's the other one right there. and I will point to those on the schematic as well, show you what I'm talking about. This is the one that goes in between the 100 ohm resistor and the 1000 ohm resistor, which is right there. And this is the one after the 1000 ohm resistor, which is right there. It goes to ground right there, goes to the hot lead there, and well, I said there, actually here. You can see it, the black one coming out of there, goes around that way. But anyway, it is right. Same with this one, goes to ground here. If you follow that over there, it goes to a ground plug right there. So that's in there correctly. Also, that part is good. I also did the wire from the audio output transformer, and that's soldered in where it goes. Again, same place as its cap here, at same point between the 100 and the 1000, and that's where it goes, and it's in correct spot now. Also, yeah, I haven't been idle. This is the last part. Since I've been in here, I've been doing this. I took this totally apart. It now works. You can hear it even. Before you couldn't hear it. What it was, after I got all this off, it's difficult to get these off. You got to take that little clip off, and like I said, it's very difficult to do. But I was able to do it. Basically, filled the bottom of this with alcohol and started switching the switch back and forth. And the switch was not making very good contact. I believe they put grease in these from the factory, some type of grease, and that had dried up, you know, as old as it is. And that's why the switch did not work. And it works well now. You can hear it. Like I said, I've already tested it with the ohm meter, and that works. Also, while I had it apart, I cleaned these terminals, or these carbon tracks on this. That now works fully. You get, I think it's about 630 ohms with it in the resistor in place, and then of course 0 the other way. But like I said, if you measure across there, it is around 630 ohms, I think. So, you know, that's, I said 630. I think it was actually 630K. That's what it was. Yeah, 630K. So it's either like a 500 or 1,000 or something like that. You know, I don't know which it is, but it's correct, whatever it is, because the trace is not broken or anything like that. So we're not going to worry about it. That's the thing. Next thing up on this is to clean these terminals off. I clean this terminal here off, this one here. This one's pretty much cleaned off, but I'll go ahead and finish it up on that and get this all redone. There's a wire that goes from here to the on-off switch here, down to the point on the chassis, I believe, right there. It's a ground point. So yeah, one side of the line on this does go exactly where it shows, to ground. Ground on the chassis. So, you know, that's not the best situation, but, you know, these radios are never really meant to be out of the cabinet, and as they were designed. So, you know, you're really not in too much danger of getting a shock out of them. So, but anyway, I probably I may change the cord out eventually. I don't know. We'll see, and put a polarized. I couldn't think of the word. Polarized plug. I tell you, when you're making these videos, it's difficult because you're looking at this, you're looking at the camera, you're thinking in your head, and things just aren't always clear. So, all right, that's what I'm doing next, and let me get that done, and we'll bring you back. Back again. It is 3:56 now in the PM on this Sunday. This is the volume pot on-off switch, whatever you want to call it, all installed again. Again, I'm glad I found that. That wouldn't have been good. Anyway, that's installed and working. Happy about that. Very happy. Put the this is the input from the actually the wiper from the volume control goes over to the first audio amp right there, and it connects to I don't know which pin. pin 2. Pin 2. Yeah, pin 2. I think, anyway, that's where it's supposed to connect to. So that's there. That's the screen, or not the screen, but the control. I guess that's the control grid of the 12SQ7. You have your diodes in there, pin 4 and 5. So yeah, that makes sense. So that's good. That's really good. I got the 4.7 megs connected to it. That's correct. All right, so that's good. The what do you call it, has been soldered back. This is the ground loop from the the low end of the volume control to the switch down to the ground here, which goes right here. And those are all soldered good. So it is in there really good. And I'm happy about that. I put this end back on as well. This was taken off. This is routed pretty good here underneath everything. It was hitting this, you're not seeing it. Was hitting this control shaft when I turned the control. It would move that little wire, but it's not doing that now. So this has got a bad spot on it, and I don't really know how to fix it. I've tried a couple times to fix it, but it don't seem to get nowhere. It'll go all the way down, or no, all the way up, and it goes to about 700 and stops. And I can go if I push it really hard, it'll go, but I'm trying not to break that string. I don't like replacing dowel strings. I think there's either too many wraps on this or something similar to that. This is also a little bit loose. I need to tighten that, but that's not a big deal. You can see there. But volume control is really good. So that's that. Everything is done now except for the rewiring of the IF can, and that's got to be done. There's a couple spots over here that's going to have to travel quite a ways. Here's where it mounts. Now there's a couple of the leads go to this tube here, so those will be easy enough. I think one of them's right there, as a matter of fact. But those will be easy enough to get to. Now the other ones go over here, I think, to this tube or to this terminal strip, one of the two. And they have to be, you know, of course, routed around the tube socket. And it takes a little bit longer. I've got to figure out which ones those are so I can make sure I put long enough leads on those to get the job done. And I don't need such long leads on the other ones. So that is that. I got to also remember to take my screw out of there, and because that's going to be where the you guys are not seeing that screw out of here, because that's where the terminal or the IF can will go into right here. And so, like I say, I've got to get to do that. I don't think I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to take a break. Like I said, it's 4 o'clock. Probably end up having supper here for long, and maybe get back into it after supper. I don't know. Depending on how far I get, I may go ahead and try another power up of this, just to make sure everything's good and working as it should. Like I said, we've got to double check, make sure these filter capacitors are good. We think they are. Well, I mean, I know they're new, but I think that was their problem. I'm saying is that bad filter capacitor, that old one right here. I think that was the main problem with the hum and the low B+. So the 35Z5 should be a lot happier with the new caps in there, I think, and that's what we're going to go for. Like I say, that's about it. So if I have more, I'll bring you back. I'll good Sunday evening to you all, YouTube. It is 8:19 now in the PM, here in front of the POG radio. You may know it better as the pictograph, but it is the radio I've been working on now for some time. As you can see, I have both IF cans on now, and I do have the tubes populated. I didn't take them out from our test yesterday. I just left them in. Let's take a look at the bottom. See which way is the best way to put this up. Like this. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I did. I think I did. I mentioned the volume control. I got that all done. Cleaned out, switch is working. And volume pot works fine. So up here is our other can. I put new wires on it again. If we look at the schematic, you can see that I used green on where the blue was at for the previous one, and white for the green where the previous one was, and red and black stayed the same. So that was just due to the fact that I didn't have any more blue wire that I could use, and the one I did use before wasn't that good. The insulation was pretty weak on it, so I decided these are from a cord, computer cord. I just broke it open and used some wire out of it because it was basically easy to get. And it had the right colors that I wanted, so that was it. So if we look at the schematic again, the green goes to pin 8 of the 12SK7, and that is this tube right here. You can see 12SK7 is written down there. And if we start here at the beginning, this is pin 1, pin 8. So these are octal tubes, that means 8 pins. So that's where that goes. The red one goes to basically B+. In this case, it's the B+ off of the second capacitor, filter capacitor, which is off of the 1000 ohm resistor. It's a 107 source, and that goes over here to pin 4 of the 50L L6. And if you trace the wires back, there's a wire running underneath here. It goes back to this tube, and I think there's one here, and it goes on to another tube. And like I said, that's our main 107 source. So it was already in there as far as that. It was just easy to run it over here as it was to run it anywhere else. I could have run it there, but there's already 2 wires on that one. This one didn't have any on it, so I thought, well, I had one on the bottom, I see, for the, that feeds it, but other than that, didn't have any on top. So that was that. Now the long ones on here are the white and the black. White one goes all the way over to the SQ7, 12SQ7, pin 4. We trace that around, it goes underneath here, and this is pin 4 because this is our pin 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's pin 4 of that, and it is tied to that diode right there, and so that's that. Now the black one, if we trace it on down through here, you come down here through under here, it goes to the point where the volume control connects to the 2.2 meg ohm resistor. Now we'll go down this way a little bit and look at it a little closer. This is the 2.2 meg ohm resistor right here. I actually made this messed up the first time and connected to the wrong end. I had it connected over here on this end. I had to change that around, but it is now connected in the right spot right there, because there's a wire that goes off of that, goes down around through there, that goes, if you trace it on out, it comes over here to the volume control. So that's the correct wire. So there's our wiring for it. Now I did also add another wire, this green wire here. I don't see here on, this is on pin 5 of the 12SQ7, and it goes over to the AVC line, which in fact that is the AVC that is the AVC line that feeds the rest of the AVC, and it goes to this capacitor here, and the other end of, let's see, the 2.2 meg, yeah, this 2.2 meg, this end here, that's where it goes right there. So you can see it down there, I think. It feeds in here. And this is the new capacitor I put. I don't know if I showed that before. I think I did. But this is the ground side here, and it connects to this ground here. This 4.7 meg ohm goes to ground from off of the SQ7 pin it's 8 or 6. I can't tell. 6, I think. I can't see it that good, but like I said, that's what that is ground right there. So, and the other end goes to the end of the 1000 ohm resistor. That's our 107 volt supply, and it's in there. And of course, the other one's down here on the other end of the 1000 ohm. It's in, like I said, this is one end of it, and this is the other end here, and it goes to ground also. So that is all correct. We like it when it's correct. So I think it's hard to say, but I think everything is right on this, and I'm hoping it is, because I spent quite a bit of time. Now, I wasn't in here all day, obviously. I worked a little bit till I got tired and go into the living room and watch videos on the computer and read email, things like that, and answer comments, things like that. And so, like I say, I just come in here after I rest a bit, and I've had supper and everything, come back in here to do this little part here. And so we probably will do this again tomorrow. As far as I won't do it live this time, because obviously no one cares about live POG radio videos. So it could be because I only gave 4 hours notice, but I thought 4 hours ought to be enough, but apparently it wasn't. So I think at one time we had, I think, 6 viewers, and I had 2 comments on 2 people that commented, I think, on the live video. So wasn't that well received, I reckon, but not a big deal. I'll still do it with Bob, hopefully, if he'll do it. He's been out today doing some stuff, and so I don't know how tired he'll be tomorrow, but we'll see, I guess. And if he feels like it, we'll try to crank this thing up again and basically have the same setup. We'll use the Variac, which you can see behind it there, like that, and we'll use the Variac to come up slow and monitor the B+, and that should do it. And I think that hopefully this time we'll have audio coming out of it. Again, like I say, the switch is working, and the volume control should be. So that should be a good one, I hope. And maybe I'll have this for you Wednesday. I don't know. We'll see. This, I think, video that I'm working on right now is going to be posted Monday, because that's tomorrow. So I got to go in and edit it. But other than that, I think I got it all shot. In fact, this is like third part I think I shot of this, but that should do it. So you guys have a great evening. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see ya.